Welcome back to Midlife Crisisses. I'm Tyson, one of the hosts. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing. All of that stuff helps us continue to do this podcast, and we would appreciate if you would continue to do that each and every episode. We love you guys so much. We want to keep doing this, and that is one of the ways to guarantee. Nothing in life is guaranteed.
Guarantee it. Yeah,
okay, that we will keep doing this. So smash that subscribe button, that like button, that follow button, whatever buttons are there, smash them all.
And we really want to hear from you guys too. We want to hear about your midlife crises. We want to know what kind of stuff you are going through so that we can talk about it and share our insights about trying to survive this bull as well. So
let's get into it. As you age, how has your style changed? Looking around at other people our age, are there things that make you cringe?
You know, we're seeing it right now with Zuckerberg wearing his chain.
When I got to LA, it was at the peak of Ed Hardy, and it was Rockin' Republic jeans.
Gross.
And yeah, exactly.
I think that when men are going through a midlife crisis, that is one of the first things that they start changing up and paying attention to.
Welcome to the show, everybody. We're glad that you guys are here. Tyson's got the question today, but I'm going to kick things off saying thanks for joining us. Hope you've had a great week. Obviously, welcome to Midlife Crisis. I'm Bradley Hasemeyer. I've had a pretty good week. We're going through some crises over here. My 11-year-old's working with the flu. I know, William, you had it. Actually, my parents, where they live, the whole school system is shut down because of the flu. So
Wow.
tis the season. So far, I've somewhat avoided it, but I'm big on my vitamins and all that jazz. So I'm doing that. And we're just glad you guys are here. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you share the show. That's really the best way to do it. Part of the reason we even started this show was just how important community is and suffering together and laughing together. And so we want you guys to be able to do that. Send that to your friends, send it to your group. And we're glad you're here, but it's not just me. No, because that wouldn't be very interesting. Two other wonderful dudes. I'm going to throw it over to William. William, you're looking better.
Howdy, everybody. Yeah, as Bradley said, I had the flu last week. My daughter had it the week before that. I'm dealing with the crises of being a single dad right now and being super busy. So I lost last week, which was my week without my daughter. And then this week I had a bunch of photo shoots. And now next week I'm going to Florida for a shoot. So it's relentless because, I had my daughter all week this week. I haven't packed yet for Florida. I'm going to leave tomorrow early in the morning. And then I'll get back and I'll get my daughter right away.
Wow.
So when it's like this, it's just nonstop, but it's great. I love it. And I'm excited for some epic photo shoots next week in Florida. And I'm looking forward to today to connect with you guys and whine a bit about all these crises that I'm going through. So howdy.
Hi.
Mr. Tyson?
I'm also here. I'm Tyson Apostol. Going through some crises too. That's what middle age is all about, is everything can be defined as a crisis, even the good times.
It's like the word organic. It's just kind of buzzy and everything is a crisis.
Totally.
Do I pick what shoes do I pick? It's a crisis. To what's my identity? That's a crisis too. It's all crises.
Exactly. And speaking of shoes, my question for you today is, as you age, how has your style changed, your fashion sense? Do you even care about that? How so? Right. And looking around at other people our age, are there things that make you cringe? Or are there things that you're like, oh, I should try that? I'll start real quick because
you're looking pretty stylish right now.
I know, but I wear this sweater all the time. You wouldn't be able to get away with that 20 years ago. He just wears the same sweater all the time. That's definitely a fail. But I wear sweaters like this because hoodies are, I'm over 40. Yeah. I don't wear hoodies.
We know you have a strong stance on no
crew
hoodies.
Necks.
Yeah.
And so that's my question. Do you have stances? Do you care? What is different now in life compared to back when maybe you cared more or less? William, talk to us about style.
Well, I definitely don't have the same level of style as Bradley because, man, that guy looks good. He's always got his fit on point.
Hey, we can end right here. Thank you guys so much for joining. That's all we were looking for. A compliment for Bradley.
I do think that, we're seeing it right now with Zuckerberg wearing his like chain and his t-shirt.
Yeah, good point.
I think that when men are going through like a midlife crisis, that is one of the first things that they start changing up and paying attention to. And for myself as well, I've kind of reverted to my not very stylish, not too much style. I wear sweatpants in the winter and board shorts in the summer, and that's pretty much as far as it goes with the t-shirt. But last year, when I was kind of in the midst of like the full-blown midlife crisis right after my divorce, I definitely like hit up Dillard's and got all these new outfits, all these new clothes, trying to make myself feel a little bit better by dressing a little better. And honestly, I liked it. I looked good. It was fun. But I've just never really been that into fashion or so I'm definitely more of a comfort guy, but I think that it's a big indicator of when somebody's going through a midlife crisis when they do start to switch up their style, dressing a little bit better, or maybe, dressing worse. I've got one friend who he went like full blown, like, the super tight pants, really like, I don't even know how I would describe it, like hip rapper kind of, style.
Okay. Which is not a style that he's ever really been a part of before.
Never been. Crisis. That's a visible crisis, like that's a billboard of like, I'm going through a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I think he's kind of reverted too. So that's another indication that it is part of like the crisis that you're going through, is that it doesn't last forever. I'll be interested in seeing what happens with Zuckerberg, if he's going to keep rocking the gold chain on the outside of his shirt.
But don't hate on a gold chain. Faux pas. We got right in the middle here. Tyson's all about that chain.
Yeah, but he doesn't wear it on the outside of his shirt. He told me that's the secret. That's the key to braggadocious, classy. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's kind of how I feel. I'm more about comfy.
Do you get annoyed? But is there anything about it like that you see somebody walking down the street and you're like, dude, dress your age? Like outside the hoodie, right? Is there like something that annoys you? Like someone's in slides and they're just like sloppy, schleppy, and you're just like Adam Sandler style, like just like whatever. And that dude can do whatever he wants because that seems like that's his personality anyway.
Yeah.
But at the so is there a sense of like, hey, step it up, man, dad,
I don't have
mom?
That. I prefer sloppy schleppy to the tryhard who's wearing the overly tight pants in an era where overly tight pants are no longer common. True. I am a firm believer in, at our age, don't take an extreme. Be on the safe side of what's in style. So, if skin tight jeans are in style, let's go 1 or 2 or 3 sizes more than skin tight. So we have a little more room, but are still on the slender side.
Yeah.
Or if baggy is the rage, then let's go on the slim side of baggy a little bit.
Yeah.
Play it safe. And that way, that's kind of my MO right now. And where in the past I was like, tight jeans, I'm going to go 1 level tighter. And
that is your personality, though, just to push it.
Yeah, but that doesn't work at this age because I look at people like that are my age, and I'm like, come on, you don't have the confidence or the build to do that, and you shouldn't be doing it. And so, like, if you want to do it, great. And confidence is the #1 fashion accessory, I do believe.
Yeah.
But if you don't have that pure confidence, and you can tell somebody who's like the extreme side of fashionable without the confidence is like the worst scenario. You're like, I can see you walking around courtside seats at the Lakers game in jeans that are too tight, and you are just giving,
you don't know what you're doing,
every sort of not confident signal imaginable, and it's embarrassing.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I remember when I moved to LA, there was such this crazy, like, to me, a hoodie and sweatshirts, and granted, this is a while ago, right? I moved in 2006. But to me, it was like, dude, you're in your 20s. Why are you wearing a hoodie? But like that like Silicon Valley culture kind of had made its way down, plus beach culture, plus like the casualness of Southern California. So when I got to LA, it was at the peak of like Ed Hardy, and it was like Rockin' Republic jeans.
Gross.
Yeah, exactly. And all that. But I was just like, I couldn't believe there were so many like 50-year-old dads of 3 wearing hoodies and flip-flops walking around Santa Monica. I was just like, I can't even understand this. You may as well be wearing like the fruit head thing that the fruit lady from what is it, Chiquita Banana. Like that to me was just like the equal of that. And then the longer you're out there, the more exposed to it, you kind of like, oh, okay. But I went through a bit of a crisis too, because I moved to LA, and part of that was like, who am I anymore? Right? Because I come to a city of 10 million and I know 2 people. I could be whoever the heck I want. I could change my name. I could speak with an accent. Like whatever I wanted, I could redefine myself at that moment. And so that was at 26, arguably the quarter life crisis, right? Mm-hmm. You come out of college, maybe you've got a job right away, and you're like, wait, is this it? I was working that hard for this thing. And I went through a faux hawk phase. I was like styling my hair in the like faux hawk. This was again, all the Rockin' Republic time. I started shopping at like, on Melrose at these like trendy, like basically a trendy Goodwill, Buffalo Exchange. I think there's a Buffalo Exchange in like Phoenix and Denver and stuff.
Buffalo. Yeah.
Yep. And those kind of places. And like all of a sudden the idea of style, I had come from the South, and it was like everybody kind of looked the same. And then you go to LA and everyone looks so different. And you're like, this was really cool to see all these different types of clothing and what people are wearing and how they make it work. And for the most part in LA, people don't care because they're so concerned about themselves. You think everyone's looking at you, but they're really just looking at themselves. And so there's some kind of strange freedom in that to just be whoever and wear whatever. But I remember thinking early on, like, that guy's in a hoodie. He's a dad. What is he doing? And now, okay, he must be a drug addict or something. Like, what's going on in his life? And now there's casual Fridays. No one wears suits anymore. You don't even wear, you don't dress up for church. Like, there's a whole cultural shift toward comfy cozy, toward relaxed. So anyway, those are just some beginning musings on that.
Back to your question a second ago, Bradley. I know what you're talking about. Like, I always go into Rowan's school in my sweatpants and t-shirt and like always looking like a schlub. And sometimes I'm like, are the other parents like looking at me? Like, should I be dressed up nicer? Like, does it look like I'm just an unemployed bum father here?
Yeah.
But also that's the way it goes. Like what you're talking about too. There's Silicon Valley guys dressing like that too.
Yeah.
And for us entrepreneurs working from home, comfort is key a lot of the time.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with schlubbiness. I think that is better than overly fashionable for people in the 40s and 50s. Like,
trendy. Here's the thing. There's a thing. I think there's a difference between fashionable and trendy. Trendy is trying too hard, I think. Yeah. Fashionable, I think, is like within your timeless wheelhouse.
Timeless. Yeah. We're going timeless. You should strive for timelessness when you are this age in life. I don't think you go for trendy. I think you could go for trendy in your 20s and 30s and try and be cool. But I never take a second look at a dad in sweatpants at the school and think, what a schlub. Because I'm in sweatpants a lot of times. But I do look at parents who are overly trendy and be like, man, they don't know. But like, I don't know if everybody's looking at them the same way I'm looking at them. I'm just looking at them that way and assuming everybody's looking at them that same way. And I could be totally off, but I don't think so because I'm the voice of the people.
Right. Exactly.
Tyson Apostol, the people's apostle.
Yes.
The people's prophet.
Exactly.
America's dad.
So I think a couple things. I think strive for timelessness and minimalist. I used to have so many shoes. I love hats.
Yeah.
I wear a different hat every day, and a hat will last a long time. And I don't have a problem buying a hat as long as it's like the best hat I have. I think we've gone over that before.
We did.
If I'm going to buy articles clothing, has to be top of my list. Go to
your new favorite has to be your new favorite. I think we came up with. Yeah.
And so but as far as shoes and stuff go, I don't need 20 pair of tennis shoes. I have a couple pair now, and they're going to last me 3 or 4 or 5 years. And I think that's good. I don't think I need that. And so I think that, like, yeah, I don't know. I would, if I'm at William's school and I see him roll in every single day in the same pair of sweatpants, I'm like, that dude knows what's up. Like,
yeah,
he got out of bed.
He's one of those guys who just doesn't have to.
Got his daughter ready, threw on the sweatpants that were on the side of his bed because they're there every day because he wears them every day, and dropped his kid off. Like, that's totally standard.
Here's the thing, though, that I've come to appreciate, and this is part of how my style has changed, is the fast fashion of your H&Ms and your Forever 21s, and even maybe like somewhat like your Gaps and Old Navies and stuff. It was like, whoa, I would buy like 3 different hoodies, and they were trash.
2 for 1.
Yeah, and they were trash, right?
Yeah.
And so
you knew they were trash, and you knew they were expendable, and that's what you bought.
And I was in with that. That's fine because I was 22 and whatever. And now I find myself willing to have a smaller closet with nicer stuff, right?
Yes.
Like, this is a sweatshirt that I wanted for a long time. It's from Todd Snyder. It's like a Champion collab.
Oh, I had one of those and I gave it away with the tiger on the front.
Oh, the tiger,
a fuzzy tiger on the front.
What? Why would you give it to me? Why would you just give that away?
I had a contract with another clothing brand that wouldn't let me wear those.
Oh, yeah.
And I gave it away, and now I wish I had. Like, I'm looking back now and was like, dang, yeah.
I love this thing. But it's like $70, right? That sounds crazy for a sweatshirt. But it's also like an elevated style. It's going to stay around for a while. It's classic within the comfy cozy. So I think there's ways to do that too. Like the fit, the finish, those types of elements can still keep you in that wheelhouse without, like, I'm not wearing some kind of crazy thing that you'd see at the Met Gala.
Yeah.
That's like, oh, he's so trendy. But like, it also, I think it also, you have to have an honest conversation with yourself. Like, if you don't care, that's okay. You know what I mean? Like, the hardest thing is like the person who's like trying to care, I feel like there's always that adage of like, before I got married, I dressed like this. And after I got married, my wife like helped me dress better and whatever. And if you care, if you want to, if that's a part of who you are, then that's great. Like, I like that. I like, following fashion blogs or, like fashion magazines, GQ, whatever, that kind of stuff, just because I like seeing different style. But I think it's because I enjoy that. I like putting on a jacket and going out for lunch or something like that in a different way. And it makes me feel good. I think there's a confidence that comes with it. But if you're faking it, if you're trying to be the guy with the too tight pants and the
pointy boot shoes.
Oh, just those. Keep those in the North Pole. I don't care who you are. No one needs to be wearing them. Only on stage, maybe at a concert for country music. And then that guy takes them off right after.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I think if it's in you a little bit, I think also the bar is really low. As guys, our bar is really low. Like, you just like put on, like Tyson, you're talking about like schlubby or schleppy or whatever, but what you're wearing looks totally put together. There's some coordination element to it. You could walk outside and it's trendiness to it, right?
Yeah.
You could have like, and William, obviously your style kind of fits your job, right? I mean, like board shorts, because at any moment's notice, you could be on a plane or you could be in the water or whatever. So it's like, it wouldn't make sense for you to dress in like a 3-piece suit.
Mm-hmm. But
that's
it would
not
be
who
hilarious.
you are. I would love to see that. Now, a 3-piece wetsuit would be even cooler. That's the only suit really you're wearing. So I think it's one of those things, like, I think there is value in like stepping up your game a little bit and not just being like, you got like cheese on your, like, and just like wipe it on your sweatshirt.
But there's also respect to that. Like, I watch guys that are just like, oh, did you spill applesauce on your shirt like 4 days ago? Like, that's amazing that you're still wearing that. Like, big respect.
That's
that you
confidence.
Don't give a shit. Yeah,
right.
I love that.
And I need a little more DGAF in my life. A little more do not give a fuck. So that could transition to trends or to clothing as well. But yeah, those are my takes. Are there things that like drive you crazy, Tyson, other than the hoodie and the pointed boots? When you see on someone, you're just like, oh, please, can we just, hey, Dad, pull it together.
Yeah. For me, like, because everything is definitely like based on my internal belief system of what fashion should be of guys our age.
And you live in Arizona, which is its own kind of microcosm, just like Colorado is like the mountains, and like you could get away with wearing hiking boots all the time might look a little weird in the South. Or
if I lived in Arizona, I'd probably just wear board shorts, no shirt, just only have board shirts and flip-flops, and that would be it.
Yeah. And I mean, there was a time when I would do that, but I don't have the physique anymore to just go shirtless all the time like I used to. I think the things that bug me are the one especially. So besides being the extreme side of the trend and overshooting the trend, the other thing that bugs me is being behind the trend and still maintaining it. That's why timeless is key, because you don't have to keep up with, like, are we wearing skinny? Are we wearing baggy? Are we wearing bell bottoms? What are we wearing right now? Like, if you just like go somewhere in the middle, then you're safe-ish, and you kind of have at least an insurance or a little leeway before it shifts so far a direction that you have to adjust. And so that's, I think, if for some reason somebody's like way on the trend, and to me, they stick out like a sore thumb. I'm like, you spent money on those and you're on the back end of it. Like, you're going to have to get new pants in like 2 months.
I heard that people's style basically stays the same once they have kids. That, like, you get married, and once you have kids, like, everything, because your attention and your energy and everything is not, trying to be trendy. But I think it also depends on kind of where you live and those type of things too. But yeah, you see somebody like way off trend, but trying to be. I think the trying, that's what is like icky. Is just the like, dude, like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Why are you trying? You're over 40. Stop trying.
Just be. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's coming out, like, confidence, like you said, is the greatest accessory. I think confidence, and that's why I think we see such a switch. Like, when I moved to LA, I wasn't confident. I was like, I'm in 10 million people and I know nobody. I got to come up with something. Or, when I think we talked about this, when I broke up with this girl I'd been dating for a while, I shaved my head and I dyed it like Eminem, like Eminem the rapper, not the candy, blonde, like yellowy blonde, because it was like this identity crisis in that as well. So yeah, I think there's something to be said for, like, step it up a little bit. Don't be like, have you seen all the pictures of Justin Bieber and his wife, Haley?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. She's like dressed to the nines, looks great, all that. And then he's just in like slides with wool socks and giant baggy sweatpants. And it's not even like coolish. It's just, it seems real like lazy.
Trying to look like a schlub, kind of.
I think so. I don't know. And maybe clearly she either doesn't care, or they continue to fight in the when the cameras are off. But
over it,
I feel like that's part of you kind of take that into consideration too, right? Like, I don't know. Have you guys ever, like, not had a fight, but like your significant other or girlfriend or whatever was like, why don't you dress up more? Or like, are you really going to wear that to dinner? Like, has there been that type of, or just acceptance? This is who you are.
I was dating this girl last year for a while, and we kind of, we weren't, serious or anything, but we just kind of became friends afterwards. And then when we became friends, I would wear things and she'd be like, oh, I hate that. I could never tell you earlier, but do not wear that shirt. Like, that is not good.
And would you listen to her? Do you stop
That's what I say. What's your response? Because maybe there's humility to say, wow, okay.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I don't really have a fashion sense. My fashion sense is pretty much non-existent. So yes, I would take some feedback.
Yeah.
So that shirt, where'd that shirt go?
It's in the closet. Haven't worn it since. I don't think.
Still
Will
hanging
you
on.
Pull it out again or no? No, get rid of it.
I want to see this. I want to see what that shirt is. You got to show us next time we get on. I want to see the shirt.
So did you know it was small, or did she tell you it was small? Or you just figured it out?
I don't know. If
the buttons on the front told me as they're popping out like that.
That's the other thing. Like, at our age, too small of clothing, not good. Even if you're in shape, but not good. Yeah. But when you were younger, you could, like, you'd wear a short shirt and show a little midriff as like a 20-year-old kid, and that was cool. Like, to not care that your shirt was a little too short. Now it's not. No.
I will say that when I was younger, I was much more into dressing up and looking sharp, and I think part of that is like dress like the job you want or whatever. Back then, when I wanted to be a loan shark or James Bond or Al Capone, I was
wear a
like
shark skin
really
3-piece
stoked
suit.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
3-piece suits and dress it up really nice.
Yeah.
But now that's not in the equation.
William the Shark.
Yeah.
Bob.
I used to be very against wearing any workout stuff outside of working out.
Okay,
like,
this is
really,
good.
really against this.
Yeah.
To the point where if I got up in the morning to go get the mail, I would put jeans on. Just throw some jeans on, walk out to the mailbox, throw some jeans on, run and grab a coffee at the gas station. No workout or comfort attire.
Athleisure. None
no
of that.
athleisure ever.
Yeah.
And I was very, very adamant about that. And now I don't give a shit. I wear athleisure most of the time. The jeans, like if I put on jeans, I was like, I should get a nice pair of jeans again because I haven't worn jeans for a while. And when I got them and started wearing them, I just thought, oh, nobody would notice. My wife was just like, oh, jeans again? Okay, jeans. I like jeans. That's great. And I was like, come on, I have jeans. It hasn't been that long. And she's like, you don't really wear jeans anymore. I was like, okay. So yeah, I think.
So do you take that and say, like, does that bring you a little bit of confidence? Like, she likes when I wear jeans and I don't mind it. So I like that. Or you just like, no.
I take zero people's input on my fashion and it affects me in no way whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I think that going back to your question of getting in disagreements, I had a girlfriend a long time ago that would try to dress me. And
that's a whole thing.
Was a big issue for me.
For
I was
the
like,
whole relationship.
Yeah, for the whole relationship. It was a no-go because she'd be like, hey, I got you this shirt. I just thought a nice button-up with a thing. I was like, it's orange plaid. I'm not wearing orange plaid button-up shirt from Old Navy to your family's Thanksgiving. Like, that's absurd.
And there's so many other issues underlying that, which is like, you need to change. I don't like who you are. I don't really trust you to make a good decision.
Yeah.
And like, there's so many other issues under there. Maybe once is like, okay, it's a nice gesture. And then you're like, wait a second.
Yeah.
You're not doing this to help me. You're doing this to help you. This is for you.
I think part of it too was she knew that I liked style and stuff like that. So she was trying to, like, she would buy me hats and I'd be like, no, I'm not wearing that hat. And she'd be like, I got it. It's a nice hat. I thought it would look great on you. I was like, it probably will, but I don't want it. And so, yeah, it was a whole thing. Like, if you're listening and you want to send me gifts, don't send me fashion gifts. I'm very particular, whether or not it's correct, whether or not I look like a schlub or whatever it is. I do not allow other people to dress me.
I think the athleisure thing is so funny because I haven't traveled much this year, but for the past like decade, I've just been in an airport for a third of the year. William, I think you're in it for like 3/4 of the year. And the move toward athleisure as becoming like, you're wearing yoga clothes. You've never been to a yoga class. Like, dude with the Tommy Bahama t-shirt and the Under Armour pants and the flip-flops getting on the airplane. I'm like, I don't want to be judgmental and be like, you should probably step it up. I think your whole life is gonna make a little bit of a change if you just cared a little bit.
Yeah.
But
you can't wear flip-flops on a plane. That's
yeah. It's just, the whole thing is, to me, it's like, it's one of those, that's a little bit of a pet peeve, but that's also like really like, judgy, and, somebody feels comfortable in it. They feel comfortable in it, but there's also a level of respect. Like,
correct.
Long time ago when you could walk up to the gate instead of, TSA stopping you from doing anything at all.
Yeah.
When my dad would fly, he was in a suit, man. It was like,
you were supposed to be back then.
Yeah, it was like a big deal. And I know generally, culturally speaking, we've gotten a lot more casual, and that's fine. But so it seems like such a stark contrast. That's one of those things that kind of drives me a little crazy.
What about wearing jeans at the gym? That's always so funny.
I would love that. I used to. So I played City League basketball like 10 years ago, and I would wear jeans to play basketball in because we were the worst team in the league. Yeah. So I was like, gotta just embrace it, dude. So I just wore jeans, and I had a photographer come and take pictures of me playing City League basketball in jeans.
That to me says either you really don't want to be here, or you're like fleeing something. Like, you just stumbled into the gym. I think you're being chased outside and you're hiding in here in your jeans. I also just think it's not functional.
Definitely not functional.
I just don't see. You're not doing squats.
There's the stretch denim and stuff now too, though. That is more athletic-y.
I guess. But that's funny. You see that a lot, William?
I know RFK Jr. He likes to do a bunch of push-ups in jeans without a t-shirt, without a shirt on. But I see it once in a while.
That's so
I also see people at the gym who are like in ninja outfits with like a full face covering, like hood on, gloves.
What is this gym you go to, bro?
That's a germ thing, though.
I don't know if it is. They're just like, they don't want to be recognized. I don't know. Not like a N95 mask, like a gator.
Full on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but gloves, to me, think that's germaphobe at a gym.
But they're like workout gloves, not like latex gloves. Latex gloves would be pretty hilarious, though.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, I like the underdress for the workout. I think that's all. Because I was a professional athlete for a number of years, and you would get geared up, and then all these amateur guys get geared up too, and that's part of the fun. That's part of the fun of being an amateur athlete is all the gear and being like, look like a pro, except for I don't have the physique of a pro. I now prefer when I work out to be the least worky outy dressed person in the workout space, because then I have no pressure to perform whatsoever. So if we're going for a jog, I'll just wear the sweatpants and I'll just put on tennis shoes instead of running shoes, and I'll leave them untied and I'll just get my thing in. And people will be like, that guy doesn't give a shit and he's not that serious. But also, he can hold his own in a jog, and that's kind of concerning.
Because their expectation was so low.
So low. You said it so low.
He completed a quarter mile. He doesn't look like he should even walk a quarter mile.
Yes, exactly. And my bikes now, I never have carbon fiber bicycles. I always buy old retro steel looking ones with not as much suspension. And so then when I'm out on the trails or doing something, people have zero expectation of me. There's no competitiveness, because you dress like a pro and you go out on pro builds and you look like you know what you're doing. And every single schmo on the street is trying to compete with you as you're trying to move along your day. Like you'll be riding and all of a sudden there's like 3 guys behind you and they are planning an attack, and then they just like zoom past you and you're like, hey, this is my relaxed day.
I'm going to the grocery store.
This is my relaxed day, guys. Yeah. But if you don't dress like that, nobody hassles you about your performance.
Funny. That's so funny. I do like the underdog element. I do like like with cars, when it comes to cars, I like the term sleeper. It's a car that just looks like a regular car, but maybe it's got like, better suspension or a better engine or something like that. And I like that for my life, because the sleeper can always surprise you, right? The sleeper can always kind of like your expectations.
It's not disappointing you.
Over deliver. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we're dressing like we're going to over deliver. I'm in sweats and a t-shirt, but also like I'm really funny and I have a great personality. I'm not a schlep, but you thought I was. And now my slight increase in your expectation has you wowed.
Yeah.
I like that too.
I like the mental game.
Yeah. That's the way to go. That's for sure. Err on that side all the time. Yeah. In life in general, I think for me, that's I show up somewhere, I want them to think I'm way poorer than I am.
Yeah.
I want people to think less of me everywhere I go, only to them be like, oh, okay. Like people all the time are like, didn't you win? Wasn't it $1 million for Survivor? As they give me like the up and down look, it's like, yes, it was. And they're like, oh, and you spent all of that, it seems. Like even like you Google my net worth on the
Google?
computer, and they're like, oh, he's worth $200,000. And I was like, I'm worth $200,000. Part of me is offended, but also I'm like, yes,
this is great.
This is what I've been striving for.
This is good news.
As I've moved through life, is for people to always underestimate and not have any expectations of me.
His net worth is the lawsuit money that he's going to get from his van that fell off of the tire shop. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. I will have to call my insurance agent. I didn't even think of doing that, Bradley, because they were taking care of it, but you're right.
Yeah.
So William, what are your takeaways on fashion? You going to change anything after this conversation, or just like,
is there a challenge involved? Like,
keep it in cruise control.
Step it up one day.
I do like wearing nice workout clothes. I do think that having some good workout clothes inspires me to work out
motivating.
more.
It is motivating for sure. Like you get new, like sometimes you need new stuff to like get you out there. You're like, oh, new cycling outfit. Oh, new running shoes like that. For sure that helps for a few sessions.
But no, I still want to, I mentioned it a while ago. I still want to like do the single black t-shirt, 10 of the same t-shirt. I think that's the route that I'm going at. Maybe, especially because I don't have much of a fashion sense. So if I could just get one nice outfit and just wear it every single day for the next 30 years, then I think that's probably the way to go for me.
And get a good t-shirt. Don't just get like some Old Navy, like that's just going to like hang off of you weird. Like get a good brand.
Murano, Italian.
Oh.
I don't know. They're good. Murano.
The material. Talking about the material
it's
or a brand?
It's a brand. Probably too fancy for us.
Yeah.
I just got a bunch of white t-shirts. Okay. Yeah. I'm in my white t-shirt phase. You just mentioned black t-shirts. That's too classy and dressed up for me. I do the white t-shirts, and I found ones with a pocket on them, so they have a little bit of flair, a white
little utility
with a pocket. Yes.
Yep.
And so I've been wearing those quite often, and have been enjoying that phase of my life as well. You
can't go wrong with a crisp white tee. Like it's just sloppy
it's the black
dress.
Yeah.
I guess. Keep it a white tee.
I don't iron them.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. They just, however they come out, they come out.
That's right.
It's like a snowflake. Everyone's
a little different because of the crinkles in it. They never lay exactly the same.
No, the crinkles went this way.
Check the crinkle pattern.
Check the crinkle pattern.
Yeah.
It's got a high CP. What's that crinkle pattern? You can tell it's a ratio. I think the takeaway for me is to be I think it's to be less judgy, let people do what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe I'm going to try, I was thinking about this the other day. Like, I think I'm going to try to dress up a little more one day out of the week and see what happens. A little experiment. I've seen people on social be like, I dressed up, for my flight. I wore a jacket and a button down and, and here's what happened. Like, someone let me cut in line. There's a perception of that a little bit. And I think confidence sometimes comes out of, the man makes the suit doesn't make the man. However, there is some confidence that comes out of it. So I was just thinking recently, I might like to challenge myself a little bit there. Just step it up one day out of the week. Just see what that is. That's not a suit. It's just like, okay, I'm wearing this. Maybe I'll wear like a chore jacket on top and put a pocket square in it or something.
I don't know what that is, but I like the idea.
I do like it too. I actually, I was living in Europe. I broke my arm in a bike race. I called my dad. I was like, I have to get home as quickly as possible. I don't want to be here. I broke my elbow and I would rather recover at your house rather than sit here in my apartment sad and lonely for 6 weeks. And he was like, okay, I'll get you the quickest flight. My dad, a saint, like I've said, he is a fixer.
Yeah.
And he gets me a first class flight because that's all that was available to get me home as quickly as possible from Belgium. And I get on my flight and I'm sitting there and the next guy next to me is full dressed, 3-piece suit, looks amazing. He sits down. We say our niceties like, hey, how's it going? Enjoy the flight, whatever. Where are you coming from? He's like, 1 sec, I got to go change. Goes to the restroom, changes into schlubby outfit, comes out and sits down. I was like, oh, why did you change? Why even wear the suit to the airport? He's like, I got upgraded for free. He's like, if they're looking to upgrade somebody, they're trying to look for someone who's dressed first class. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I've never thought this was probably 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was like, he's like, I wear a suit every time I go to the airport with a change of clothes in my backpack. And so
this is a great hack.
Yeah. So I go talk to the gate agents, just make sure see if there's any upgrades, opportunities. If there is, I stay in the suit. If there's not, I go change at the airport bathroom. And I was like, that's incredible. Is it real? I don't know. Is it still real? I don't know. Cause it seems maybe no, but I thought it was, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah. He's like, they're not going to give a first class seat if there's one first class seat left to any bum. They want you to have a presence there that nobody is like, oh, brand. They gave away a seat to this homeless person. Yeah. I can tell like that guy's nut shouldn't be here. So I was like, yeah, dress according to what you want.
Yeah.
But if you don't want anything, dress however you want.
Yeah. There's freedom. And that's part of a midlife crisis too, I think, is like coming to terms with just like, this is who I am. I'm not trying to fake it anymore. I hate dressing up, so I'm not going to dress up. That's great. The worst is like, I feel like I should. And so I'm doing it out of like I feel like I have to make myself better. I'm going to do this, so I think it should come out naturally. If there's an inkling of it, then go with it. But don't try to become someone different just because you think that that's what the culture says you should.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So everyone, dress how you want.
Yeah.
Be confident.
As long as it's not a hoodie.
Don't wear a hoodie. So,
or jeans to work out at William's gym.
Yeah. Unless it's me, I might show up to your gym wearing jeans.
Yeah, and I may come full Shaolin style. So be ready.
Yeah, what do you dress for Shaolin? Do you do full karate gi, black belt?
No, it's like really baggy sweatpants, kind of, in a black baggy sweatpants, black t-shirt.
I wouldn't take that shit seriously at all if I rolled in, dude. I'd be like, they don't even have like Chinese
these are like
symbols.
The most comfortable, the Kung Fu sweatpants. Oh my God, they're so comfortable. They're like super, super baggy. So you have the full range of motion.
Oh, so they're specific for Kung Fu.
Yeah.
Okay, then that's
for the dojo. They've got for the.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. I was like, if everybody's just choosing whatever sweatpants off this rack at Nordstrom Rack that they want to wear, I'm not taking that Shaolin seriously. But if everybody's wearing the same, then okay, now I'm behind you.
Kung Fu sweatpants.
Kung Fu sweats.
Is that the new athleisure you think is the Kung Fu stuff? Because it's even baggier. Okay. You heard it here first. William's calling a shot. Kung Fu is the new athleisure.
That's it.
That'll do it here at Midlife Crisisses. Go ahead and continue on with your own personal crises. Like and subscribe, comment, and share before that. That helps us churn this content out each and every week. Thank you all for listening. See ya.
Bye. Peace.